Greetings, family. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm looking forward to this conversation. This is a segment of the. Oh, welcome, folks. You're in kind of a little bit early. Awesome. Thank you for joining so quickly and so early. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Interesting subject today. Interested in uh, seeing where the content lands with everyone. I was expecting I remember as I mentioned to my support team here, I remember when I first read this particular segment, I had an idea in my head of what I thought I was going to be reading, and I was very surprised at what I actually did read and how it resonated with me and how it didn't. So I'm interested in seeing what other folks have to say about it. Very much looking forward to that. Very, very, very much looking forward to it. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see who's here. Welcome, Adam. Oh, Adam, thank you for coming. Thank you, thank you. Welcome, Cassandra and Chris and Rashida. And, oh, is that a new name? Asai? I hope I'm pronouncing that correct. Hmm. I'll have to have you come off and clarify that for me.
Asia, Asia, Asia sunrise. Greetings.
Asia, oh, awesome. Asia, well, welcome, thank you. And Queen A, thank you all for coming. Looking forward to having a wonderful conversation today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So we're going to be talking about Kahlil Gibran, the prophet. We've been exploring him for several months, and off and on between other topics. And today we're talking about eating and drinking. And as I said, when I first read this and started this section, I had an idea in my head, and it was kind of on point, but it really wasn't. And I think you'll see when we start reading what I'm talking about. So looking forward to having a wonderful, wonderful conversation, and and looking forward to the contributions of the community. Sometime in the last few months, the community hasn't been co-creating as much as they have as we had in the past. So we want y'all to come on back and be part of the creation of the session. We as I know I as a facilitator, so let me not even speak for other facilitators because I'm not them. But I know I as a facilitator look forward to the conversation, and it's a huge part of my presentation at all times. So sometimes if you all are quiet, I'm not even sure where to go next because I anticipate a conversation and I feel like I'm talking to myself. So I don't want to talk to myself today, guys. Family. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Looking forward, looking forward. Welcome, Facebook. Welcome all. Looking forward.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, together, we're learning, discerning. We're striving. Together, together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together, together.
Greetings, family. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, thank you. Before I start, I have two things. One thing that I normally do, but before I even do that, I want to do something else that came to our attention yesterday, that one of our family members has transitioned, and I want to bring her name into the space and honor her and thank her for her contribution, and thank you her for her contribution as an ancestor. Jim McBean was with us from pretty close to the beginning. She didn't come into the Zoom space often. Occasionally she would, but she loved to hang out on the porch in Facebook, on the porch, as Sister Stacy uh, puts it. But she had some tremendous gems that she would drop into Facebook, and on those occasions when I was operating as Facebook admin, I loved to be able to share her gems from Facebook into Zoom. And I want to honor her and wish peace and peace for her spirit and comfort for all of us and her family and friends who are going to be affected by the absence of her physical being. Thank you. Now, um, the next thing that I will do is ask for permission to actually begin. So, in the space. Am I the eldest? I'm not sure. So is there, let's go far out. Is there anyone 80 or older? 75, 70, 65.
Yes, I am 66. You may
Awesome.
definitely have permission to begin.
Thank you so much, Ms.
Yes.
Lily. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Uh, so if you can please bring this next slide up, please. Thank you. For those of you who've been with me know that I like to center our breathing, and I've had the foresight to record it so that I can participate as well. So if you can click the audio, we can start our box breathing. For those who don't know what box breathing is, the image
Box
demonstrates
breathing,
clearly.
4 count, 4 cycles. Breathe in, hold, out, hold, in, hold, out, hold, in, hold, out, hold, in, hold, out, hold. Return to normal breathing.
Thank you, thank you. Let's bring go to the next slide, and hopefully anyone who wants to share how that helped them center today, please do so in the chat. And today we're continuing our conversation and exploration of The Prophet by Kahlil Gibran. And our focus today is on eating and drinking. And I I had an expectation in my mind when I first started reading this section, and I was very surprised by what I actually read. I'm going to ask Sierra to read the content uh, straight through, and then we'll have a conversation about how it resonates with you, what you think about it, and what your personal thoughts are on eating and drinking. Sierra, please.
Then an old man, a keeper of an inn, said, "Speak to us of eating and drinking." And he said, "Would that you could live on the fragrance of the earth, and like an air plant be sustained by the light. But since you must kill to eat, and rob the newly born of its mother's milk to quench your thirst, let it then be an act of worship. And let your board stand an altar on which the pure and the innocent of forest and plain are sacrificed, for that which is pure and still more innocent in man. Where you kill a beast, say to him in your heart, by the same power that slays you, I too am slain, and I too shall be consumed. For the law that delivered you into my hand shall deliver me into a mightier hand. Your blood and my blood is not but the sap that feeds the tree of heaven. And when you crush an apple with your teeth, say to it in your heart, your seed shall live in my body, and the bud of your tomorrow shall blossom in my heart. And your fragrance shall be my breath, and together we shall rejoice through all the seasons. And in the autumn, when you gather the grapes of your vineyards for the winepress, say in your heart, I too am a vineyard, and my fruit shall be gathered for the winepress. And like new wine, I shall be kept in eternal vessels. And in winter, when you draw the wine, let there be in your heart a song for each cup, and let there be in the song a remembrance for the autumn days, and for the vineyard, and for the winepress.
Thank you. Uh, did anyone like me have an idea what they were going to hear when they saw that the subject was eating and drinking? Any ideas, uh, advanced ideas of what was going to be, what they were going to hear or read? No?
I
Okay.
can, oh, we got Teresa.
Oh, Lisa, awesome.
I thought they might talk about something with, like food and stuff, but I didn't know to what degree because I wanted to ask you a question about: is he saying don't eat meat, or what? That's what I was because it sounds like he's saying eating meat is a problem. I'm not really sure. That's what I got to understand. It was like if you're killing something, then that's a problem.
No, what he's actually saying is that everything that we consume, not just meat, even the fruit, uh, the apple, the grapes for the wine, everything is living before we uh, consume it. Uh, and we have to kill it in order to consume it. And we should consider it a form of worship, uh, and understand that we also we're at we're basically at the top of the food chain, but when you think about it, in certain times, we weren't even at the top of the food chain because there were other things that would consume us very easily if we weren't paying attention. Um, but we're basically at the top of the food chain. So we consume, whether it be uh, animals or plants, those both were alive at some point. The plants grow, they're alive, and then we pick them and process them and eat them, uh, just as we do with animals. So my I thought when I first started that I was going to be reading something along the lines of what you're saying, Teresa, that we should only eat plants, but it's not that we should only eat, it's we should, whatever we eat, we should consider it a form of worship, and we acknowledge that we have absorbed a life for us to continue living, if that makes sense to you. So that was, like I said, very different than what I expected it to be. Um, and I get it. I will confess that I always give thanks, and when before I eat, I give thanks. Been doing that since since I was a child, uh, growing up in a Christian home and then becoming Muslim. I give thanks for what I'm consuming, but giving thanks or acknowledging it in the way that he suggested, something I have not tried. I may consider trying it to see how it makes me feel about what I'm doing and being more conscious of in my eating. And that also could be helpful in getting more nutrition and more growth out of whatever it is I consume. So I might consider doing that personally. Um, but it's not something that I have done in the past at all. So what are other folks' thoughts about this? Come
I
on,
guess
family. I want a conversation. I'm not trying to talk to myself here.
I
I,
guess for me, I was about, oh, go ahead, Queen A.
oh no, that's okay. Go ahead, sweet.
I was just saying because was gonna read it, and so when was reading about eating and drinking, I kind of went into it thinking like, oh, it'll be try not to consume meat, you're killing animals, but I really liked that it was less of like a don't kill animals to eat their meat. It was like of everything that you consume, recognize that its sole purpose isn't to be consumed by you. Like take a minute to thank it and how you will let it live on with you and like, oh, you know, your seeds will now grow in me, things like that. So I just like that it puts a bit more emphasis on realizing that not even just the meat, but like everything, its sole purpose wasn't to nourish you, but now that it is, give back to it in a sense. I really liked it.
Today. Exactly. That's exactly the reaction I had. And that was what I expected, and that is what I ended up with as well. So yeah, I'm happy to see that we all seem to be on the same page. Well, I'm not surprised though, because we tend to be on the same page in this group, in this family, in this community. Anyone else? Oh,
Queen, did you
you
still
know,
want to share?
Oh, yes, thank you, love. I had a question. I'm just curious because I'm a naturalist, and you said something about even the plants, like when we eat it, like you were saying, because somebody asked you a question about is it just saying like, we shouldn't like if we have to kill it, we shouldn't eat it. You were saying even plants, and things of that nature before we eat it, like, we killing that. You were saying everything. And I was just trying to see, can you elaborate on that? Because to me, when we eat fruit, we don't kill it. We wait for it to harvest. It drops. It's ready for us to eat. You know what I mean? So I just want to know, can you elaborate on that a little bit? Because to me, the stuff we supposed to eat, we don't have to kill. It drops. It harvests. Like, we plant it. Once it get ready, it harvests. It drops. It let us know it's ready. So I just want to know, can you elaborate on that a little bit when you went into, even plants? Because to me, the plants I eat, I don't kill. They harvest. They let me know when they're ready for me to eat them. So I
actually,
just want to know, can you elaborate on that a little bit?
well, actually, that is a very interesting point. Definitely an interest, something I had not considered. Thank you again. See, that's why I love having a conversation because other folks are going to come up with things that I have not considered. So, for the most part, that is accurately true. Uh, it, you're not eating it until it's, but at the same time, is it so it has fallen from, so if we're using an apple as an example, it has fallen from the tree before you eat it, or not all those, always those. Often people pick apples. They may be ripe, but they haven't fallen from the tree before they're picked. You don't usually actually pick up the ones that are on the ground. You usually pick them off the tree. So it's an
But
interesting
what if you like
concept.
me? Because see, I don't pick anything. Like I wait for my stuff to harvest. Really, like I join farms. I volunteer. I plant my own stuff. So I'm just trying to figure out where am I killing it at? If I'm waiting on it to drop, and I seen somebody put in the comments saying when they cooking it, I understand that part when they're cooking it. But you said once we like eat it. Basically, everything we eat, we've killed. So I just wanted to elaborate on that a little bit for me, for clarity, because far as I understand the where I'm going towards, I'm not killing the things that I'm eating. I'm actually letting it harvest and letting the universe let me know it's ready for me to eat. So I just want to know, could you elaborate?
So you don't pull it off, like you don't
Yeah, I
pull
don't
the
pull it
apple
off.
off
Yeah,
the
I'm
tree.
not going up and pulling the apple off a tree. I'll wait for it to drop because I know it's ready. That's when it's ready for me to, to harvest. Or orange. It's certain ways. Like if you're a planter, especially if you plant things, it's a certain way that the universe, that's any plant. I don't care if it's a herb or a fruit. It lets you know when it's ready to be harvested, and you're not killing it. Because even with herbs, you trim it and it continues to grow. You don't kill it. You get what I'm saying? You can cut us herbs, cook, cut herbs, do what you're gonna do, sprinkle in the food, whatever, but it continues to grow. So you didn't kill that herb when you cut it to cook, to do whatever you was doing with it. So I just want to know, can you elaborate on that a little bit?
But he makes a distinction between killing the animals and eating the plants. Where on here do we read that the plants are killed?
No, I was asking you to elaborate on your question. Somebody asked you a question about the meat. Was it saying just don't eat meat? And you said everything we eat, we kill before we eat it. And so that's where I had the question that. It wasn't in that book. It was a question somebody proposed to you. It was like one of the first questions somebody asked you, and you said basically they was asking you, like, was it just saying we like don't kill meat, you know what I mean? Or we shouldn't like take
He actually doesn't say don't kill
yeah,
me.
yeah.
What
And
he
you
says is
said,
whatever you consume,
right. And he
it
was
was
saying everything
alive.
we
It was alive at some point, and uh, so to your point, uh, most things are in terms of things we eat, they are pulled off. Usually they're pulled off. They're basically ripe when they're pulled off. Some things are not quite ripe, and they're set to ripen. Once they're pulled off. But the thought process that I'm feeling from the text and the content is that he's pointing out that everything that is being consumed by us has been alive at some point, and once we are consuming it, it is no longer alive, uh, but it is nourishing us, and in the same way, when we transition, uh, we'll if especially back then they didn't most bodies got buried. Once they get buried, then ultimately they're going to become uh uh fertilizer basically for the soil to then nurture more, if that makes sense. So acknowledging that even though we are consuming these things that were living beings, entities, uh before we eat them, we acknowledge that it's a what was the song from Lion King? Circle of life. It's all a cycle. It's all a circle. So we're not better than any of it because we are consuming it. We are grateful for it providing us with our continued life, but we acknowledge that we are also going to come to the same end eventually. That's how I received it. Now, does anyone else see anything differently?
Can I
Yeah,
add to the
I have
conversation?
my hand up.
I
Can I say something?
let somebody else talk. I already talked.
I'm sorry, Teresa. You want to go first, or because we both jump?
All right, I'll wait after you, babe.
Thank you, honey. I feel like I this was such a spiritual text, and knowing Gibran as I know, I've read him. It's like no matter who you are or what you consume, that in the consumption, it's a spiritual act.
Yeah.
And what I thought of is okay, so the Islamic person is going to eat halal meat. And what happens is, I believe the animal is spiritually released from life, and the food is blessed. And the human, and when they are released from life in the Muslim tradition, they're not put in a coffin, they're wrapped in a cloth so that they could be literally consumed by nature quickly. It's a natural evolution. Whether you are vegetarian or a carnivore, whatever we do, if we do it, we make it a spiritual act. We're still using what God has given us to nourish us.
Exactly.
And we
Exactly.
treat it as a spiritual act. That's it. It's like if you eat a banana. Most bananas in America were not picked here and they were picked green. And when you wait for it to ripe, you make the eating of it a spiritual act. And this is such a beautiful text. I saw beauty in it more than anything else. That everything is living and everything has to feed everyone, no matter whether you eat meat or not, or you eat only vegetables. You're eating a living substance, and I'm complete.
Thank you. Thank you. I agree. That's what I got. It's a spiritual, it's an acknowledgement of the glory of the creation to provide for us in such a way that if we pay attention, we acknowledge that we're going to go the same way. It may not look the same, but it's going to end up the same. Our bodies are going to be consumed by the earth to go on and create a new cycle for the next those coming behind us. So yeah, I agree with you. Thank you, thank you. Teresa?
I love what Sister Veronica was saying. I just think too, what they're saying is that like I think even too like where we buy our food and stuff makes a big difference. It's like I like a lot of times like I didn't know that people I didn't know until recently. But it's like well, I don't eat meat right now. I'm not eating meat. I might go back to right now I'm eating. But the fact of it is that when when I think about eating my food, I should just have a mind of like this is a gift that God gave me, and honor it, and not just put it in my mouth and just consuming it. And for me, that's what I got from it. Is like from now on, like just when you eat from now on, just really think about like how you're eating. And when I thought about it was when you were saying about how they rap the people, they don't do all of the stuff that we do because to me it's like people have all these expensive rooms and stuff like that. And to me, the other way is more better because it's like you're going back to, like we came from dust and we're going back to the dust. So I think what they're saying is like, just keep everything you do in a holy place. And I think too, when you're eating like that, that it would nourish your body a lot different than when you just consume like just sitting down to your plate and just eating and not being grateful and seeing it as a spiritual thing. And so I believe that it will help us digest it and do better with food when we come that it's a spiritual gift that God gave us. Even if you boy, even if you picked it, whatever, because unless you're in a farm, like you don't even know what's happening with the food. But like if you're growing your own stuff, then I talk to my vegetables. I ask God to watch over my. I'm serious. I really do that. I ask God to watch over my vegetables and make sure they grow and that they taste well. So even my mindset didn't go into the store. Like I do pray. I do pray in different. I do pray and ask God to bless me. But the point of it is that when I'm growing my own vegetables, there's a different mindset that I have than when I'm picking it from the store. So there's like Sister Veronica said, it's just a place of worship and just honoring God. Like in everything that we do, and that's the revelation that I came with, and I just love it. So thank you, Sister Zakiyyah, bringing
Thank
such a
you.
beautiful place to us.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you. Yes. Yes, what I get is that whatever we're consuming, whether, as Veronica said, whether it's meat or or not, or whatever we're consuming, acknowledging it, taking the time to honor the sacrifice, and that it is made to help us continue our life cycle, and that in the end, our life cycle is going to continue the future generations. It is a circle of life, definitely. Thank you, thank you. Anyone else?
So we've
Yes,
got
great
Chris.
morning. This is Andrea. Such a great topic. Great morning, everyone. Um, I love how Sister Veronica packaged some of this whole thing. And being a gardener myself, and I understand where Queen A is coming from as well. That's part of my acknowledgement as well. And when Sister Veronica was speaking, it brought back to me growing up in Guyana. My grandmother, we had our own chickens and stuff in the yard, and planting vegetables, fruits, and all of that. And I noticed, and I just naturally doing it myself. My grandmother always speak to the plants and the animals. And before she kills the turkey or the chicken, whichever one, she will talk to them and let them know that they're going to be transitioning, whatever word she used. But I remember her like talking to them, praying with them before she actually kills the animal for us to eat. So, and just how Gilbrand packaged his statement, the life cycle is very symbiotic. We are all dependent and interdependent on something, So we would consume, and like Sister Veronica said, when we transition, then different types of animals, the worms and whatever, consume us, So it's really a life cycle in its fullest. I mean, another word probably somebody can use it and really pull it together. But that's where I'm at with that. So it's really awesome conversation. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. So thank you for contributing to the conversation. Thank you very much. So it is 7:35. So I don't want to go over by too much. So if there is anyone else who would like a last share, and then
We
we can read the chat to close it out, and then we can begin to close out the session.
uh we had Chris and Case Sweetness with their hands up. I know Chris put his back down. I'm wondering if he was just worried about time.
No, well, I mean, we're doing pretty well, so so I just don't want to go too far. So if I would love to hear from whoever could has something to say. So, Sweetness, your hand is still up, and Chris, if you would like to just to speak, just put your hand back up. I would love to hear what you have to say. So, and then we can read the chat and then close out. Thank you. Sweetness,
Peace and blessing.
peace and blessings.
Grand rising to everyone.
Grand rising.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much for showing up today, giving God praise on today. I was thinking about, or I saw something on TV where there's some people who just kill enough to eat, right?
Mm.
We have been conditioned to have choices depending on your location. So location, yes. The fruit tastes different somewhere else. And prayerfully, we're not going too far off topic. However, I'm trying to connect the dots. That's what I've been doing for a couple of years now, trying to connect the dots. So I remember eating a pineapple from Hawaii, and it burnt the inside of my mouth. I eat a pineapple from New York, I can eat it with no issue. So it's location as far as the quality of food. I know we're talking about, well, what I heard was what you was talking about, the understanding of the cycle of life and seeds. So I'm saying what came up for me is that when I really get in touch with what I'm doing as far as preparing my food. So right now, two of the sisters from Wake Up Everybody and myself are on a 2 week um transformation. We're gonna call it that. It used to be challenge, but now it's transformation because it's no longer a challenge because I have enough information so that I could transform. How you like that? So what I'm saying is part of what I'm saying is that I'm developing a new relationship with garlic and ginger and beets and carrots, and I'm looking at them in a different way because I've put them in the category of medicine. And so what I ask myself often with anything in life and in each season, how does that serve me? Does it serve me to eat meat here in the United States, knowing how it's treated? So that's what I want to put out there in the conversation, in the atmosphere, as far as walking still on this planet with wisdom. How does that serve me? Just the theory of what we're talking about right now, the way of thinking, the way of understanding, the way of knowing. How does that serve me? How does that serve community? And then, of course, community reaches out to nation. So I wanted to throw that out there to, give thanks for the seeds, the apple seeds. Um, yeah, yeah, giving thanks. I'm confident. I'm extremely confident that having an attitude of gratitude always will leave room for more. So if I give thanks for the apple seed, then later on I can enjoy an onion. Yes? And with that, I'm complete. Have a wonderful day, Martine.
Only Martine, excuse me. Thank you
I'm,
all.
I'm saying only Martino.
Chris, you've been waiting patiently. Please share with us. And I see something in the chat that I want to point out before we read the rest of the chat that I would like to end with and ask the person who requested if they would be willing to lead it. But first, let's hear from Chris.
Hi, Grand Rising, Zakiyyah.
Grand Rising. Thank you.
This is lovely, lovely. I was trying to piece this thing together, So what I'm understanding from everything is like he was saying at the end, like the autumns, the seasons, autumn being one of my favorite seasons. It kind of got me thinking in that direction. And I started thinking like you have to remember, the spring, the summer, and the fall during the winters is what I was starting to get at. And then listening to the consumptions and the food, you have to like remember, what you sowed during the colder and like more uncertain times. So if you were thinking about food, what were you eating during times where there's less, during times where maybe during fasting or even when, you got to think ahead. What are you eating now that in the future that is what's going to be operating within you as well? So, especially, us being from low income places, sometimes there's not even going to be food that, ahead. So what are you eating now that's going to help in the future for when there may not be? In that realm of things. And with that, I am complete.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So there's a specific note that I'm looking at in the chat that I want to. Chrissy asked if we could end with an affirmation that helps us navigate the sacred food. And I'm asking Chrissy if you will, after we've read the rest of the chat, if you would create and lead that for us to close out the session.
Hi, I'm gonna unmute. I was gonna type, but then I was like, I can just unmute. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
I actually just joined, like maybe 20 minutes ago, but divinely, just as I always do in divine time. I was actually talking about this the other day, which is why I want to really think about an affirmation. Literally last night, I was talking about this. Um, So I don't have the chat to go back through. Is there one? Was there one that was provided in the chat?
No.
No, she meant for us to for
We're going
you.
to read the chat, and then once we've read the chat, I would like for you to
Oh, sure.
provide us
Yeah.
with an affirmation.
I got us. I got us. Yep, no problem.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
I thought maybe it was already done. Sorry.
No, no. So, Martine, would it be you or Sierra? Would you share what's in the
I
chat?
was scrolling up to the top. I just wanted to start with Laura.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did we hear from Laura?
Um, oh yeah, Laura did have her hand up, but I did want to read what she had said earlier in the chat. My
Laura had her
heartfelt,
hand up? Okay.
yeah.
So before we do the chat, let's
Okay.
hear from Laura,
Okay.
and then we'll close out with the chat, and then with the affirmation from Chrissy.
Greetings, grand rising, everyone. Thank you so much, Z, for this topic. And what I get from it is being grateful. And always remember the hands, the farmers, nature, all that has helped these plants, whatever, to grow. Always remember, growing up, we had a prayer in Jamaica, and people would always say, remember the cook, even something about, even if he has a sore foot or something, but always remember the cook who provides his food. And I'm getting gratitude from this poem to always acknowledge the energy we get from the food we eat. And there's a line in the poem, if I can find it again, your blood and my blood is not, but the sap that feeds the tree of heaven. To me, it's all about energy and feeding life force, feeding the universe. And I'm so grateful for all the shares. And Sister Veronica, I love how you summarized and gave the full essence of this poem. With that, I'm complete. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That's a great way to summarize this. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now we can hear the chat. And
All right. So just kind of jumping back to when we were honoring one that has transitioned. Martine on Facebook said, Jen McBean L, this is your space. I felt your absence for quite some time now and had no clue what was going on with you. You are and will be missed. We honor you in this space today and the value that you brought to our conversation. Peace be the journey. Laura also said, my heartfelt condolences to the family and friends of Sister Jem McBean L. Thank you for the love, joy, and wisdom you imparted to us here on Woo. You will always be remembered. Now moving a little bit more into the conversation around the food. I think Martina said this when we were referencing plant, like killing in terms of like plants in the conversation with Queen A. And she said, I think it's less about killing and more about honoring the cycle of life. He makes a distinction between forest and plain and says that these are sacrifices, killed or not. A sweetness, also in reference to like how we treat food, that how shall it serve me? A sweetness also said, in everything give thanks. Yes, let's learn more to reap what we sow on a more conscious level. Moan just said, same. I was just thinking on how to acknowledge food with my daughter because we eat before we eat, because I don't want to just use a traditional way of praying. K Sweetness said, reach for what you need and give to the needy, not the greedy. Energy, energy, right? And then Veronica said, sending love and light to Jem's spirit and her beloved family at this point. And that's all in the chat.
Thank you. Thank you. Chrissy, would you support our closing with an affirmation that we can all share?
Absolutely. And I'm going to throw it in the chat because it's a little bit long. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So just in case someone wants to take it. So every bite I take is a reflection of love for myself, for my body, and the earth. I honor my journey, trust my intuition, and choose what nourishes me in this season. My food is sacred. My choices are mine. I eat with intention, gratitude, and grace.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Hi, Chrissy.
I'm
Thank you.
sorry.
That was
Thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you. Yes, that was beautiful.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
You're welcome. Give thanks.
Okay.
Hey, uh, uh, unless someone else has something that would I'd like to say, let us please go to the next slide and close this out.
You want to talk about
Say it again. What was the question?
these two links that you want? The two links that you want in the comment, you want to talk about those, the PDF and the audio?
Oh yeah, so they're being put in the chat for those who have not. I put it in every session so that you can get the P. If you haven't read the book before, you can get the PDF of it and read it, so that you will have read it before we get to the session and have maybe even more to contribute. And it's also available on as an audio, like on YouTube. So I provided those links, and you'll please use them to help you with understanding and reading, learning, and understanding what Kahlil Gibran uh, created with this beautiful book. Thank you. And this is my contact information. The easiest way to reach me is to text me, uh, and if you're not already in my contacts, let me know how we know each other so that I can add you to my contacts with a note as to how I know you. So if we don't hear from each other for quite a while and I haven't see you again, I'll know how I know you. Um, uh, and I love feedback. I love to I love to hear what people get from what I share. So please contact me and let me know. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Zakiyyah. This over as we're talking the circle of life and you know, giving, being conscious of what we're taking and not even not taking it anymore, but giving back, how we can grow and nourish based off the things we consume. I always like when Stacy says, giving is receiving. You know, by giving, you're able to continue to receive. Um, so please consider signing up for these monthly automated love offerings and donations. With these, you know, all our facilitators are volunteer based, our admin team is volunteer based. So this is strictly going to, you know, keeping the Zoom platform up, the automated text messaging, when you give, you receive. So, you know, we're able to continue doing this. I always heard that this was only supposed to be a short segment during COVID, and, you know, we just celebrated 5 years. So I think those that have been able to continue it for this long, so that I've been now able to join and learn the things I've learned, do some box breathing this morning, you know, start my morning off right. So if you are able, you can go ahead and click on a link and it'll automatically come out once a month for the amount you choose. We have 25, 50, 75, or $100 a month. There's also a way, I think, to have a custom one. So if you're interested in that, you can email us and help get that set up. Next up, we've got Astra O'Malley talking about Opening a World of Grace, Part 3. So if you were able to catch Part 1 and 2, make sure you come join so you can get the full analysis of it all. If you weren't able to catch Part 1 and 2, just check out the Facebook. You can go watch the live stream so you're ready joining us in tomorrow. And then Wednesday, Sam, we've got Sam talking about emancipate yourself from mental slavery. That's also a part 3. So finish it off if you've already seen part 1 and 2. And if you haven't seen part 1 and 2, make sure you go onto our Facebook and catch them there. We've got Speak, Move, Change coming up. This is a reproductive freedom train to an Afro-futuristic journey to liberation. This is modeled after the Underground Railroad, and it'll take you to stops all around the nation that will provide you with resources where you can have a safe birth. This ranges from birthing centers all the way to farmers. How can you expect to have a safe, healthy birth if you aren't nourished correctly? So we talk about a bunch of different stops around the country where you can go to get help. And it'll be a great experience. I know a lot of people put a lot of hard work into this. So if you were able, it's a 2-day event on Zoom. First day is April 25th, second is the 26th. So I strongly suggest you come out if you are able. It'll be a good time. Then following that, we've got the National Postpartum Awareness Week. This is going to be a whole week event from May 4th to 10th. There's also going to be a hybrid day where we're at SUNY Downstate in Brooklyn. Kind of along a similar line, we've got to bring attention to this. So each day will have a specific theme. If you're able to join, go ahead and register. There's QR codes on each thing. The bit.ly is also there. So try to sign up and at least show up for a single day. If you can do more, I'm sure if you show up to one, you'll be like, oh, I'll definitely make it to the next one. It'll be a good time. Very educational, very healing. The Woo Nation, we welcome all our new members. Like I said, I'm fairly new. I feel very welcome. So I don't know if I saw any new names today. I know, Asia, you are somewhat new. So I'm glad you were able to come see Zakiyyah speak. So yeah, try to invite friends. We love seeing new faces, and they might learn something and just like to have this on as they wake up in the morning. Here's our schedule. Our Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday are our longer sessions, are 90 minutes from 7 a.m. to 8:30. Our Monday and Wednesday are the shorter sessions. We always have good conversation that might run over a bit, but those are a 30-minute session from 7 to 7:30. As I mentioned earlier, we do have automated text, so you can go ahead and text Woo Nation to 74121 in order to get a notification for each session. We also stream live on Facebook. That's what Martine is busy doing today. So that way, if you join via Facebook, your voice is still heard in here. And stay in touch. You can register at bit.ly/wakeupmovement. Again, we've got that Facebook community. We have a public one and a private one. The private one is bit.ly/Woo community. The public is bit.ly/Woo Nation. We've also got an Instagram. We've got a YouTube. I've been uploading the previous ones. It's been fun to kind of see the old sessions from 2020. So, if you have a facilitator you like and you want to go look at some of their older stuff, I saw Chantel even facilitated before, so I was shocked to see that. And then we also have a email. So if you're interested in volunteering, or any questions, things like that, you can go ahead and email us at info.wakeupseries@gmail.com. And with that, I'm going to take this down so we can give Z her much deserved love shower. So at this point, I'll ask you all to mute and shower her in some love.
Thank you, Zakiyyah.
Thank you,
Thank
beloved
you,
queen.
see you so much.
Z.
I
You're
appreciate you.
wonderful. Thank you for consistency.
So appreciate you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you
you.
for all
Honey,
that you do,
Thank you.
baby.
thank you very
Thank
much
you.
for
One love, one
all
love.
you provide, and have a great day. Thank you, everyone, for your shares. Appreciate you. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Love you.
Thank
We
you,
love you.
everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
A
Thank
great
you, partner.
job.
Thank
Oh,
you.
this is lovely. This is lovely.